Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom, Namo Buddhaya. Good evening to my supervising lecturer, Ikatan Sunan Wijaya SAMSE, and also all of my friends and accounting evening B. So for today, in this video, I would like to tell you about theory of ethics and principle ethics in business. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Nilo Santi Aprianisari. You can call me Santi. And at this video, I had 5 subjects that I will explain to you. So it's about definition of ethics, moral relativism, modern ethical theories or cognitivism, and religious ethical theories or non-cognitivism, and the last we have ethical principle in business. And definition of ethics. What is ethics? So ethics is a branch of philosophy that critically consider which actions are good or bad based on certain moral teachings. Business ethics is a part of professional ethics and must be developed by business professionals themselves. Business ethics should to be considered an essential element of business operations, and in the long term, business without ethics will ultimately fail. Etymologically, ethics come from the Greek word, so it's a ethos. Ethos which means morality or customary practice. Thus, the term ethics can mean the study of what is commonly practiced or the study of custom. According to Beckham, 2004, ethics can be defined as a set of moral principles that distinguish between good and bad. Ethics is a normative discipline because it determines what individuals should or should not to do. And based on Bertain's analysis, ethics has 3 positions. The first one is a value of system, values and norms that guide an individual or group in regulating their behavior. And number 2 is a code of ethics, a collection of principles or moral values. And the last position is a moral philosophy. So this is the study of good and bad. And from this perspective, ethics connect philosophy and cultural articulation. Additionally, philosophy analyzes why and how human exists and regulates the microcosmic or human to human and macrocosmic or human to nature and human to God levels. And as a system of thought, fundamental philosophical concepts are used to study ethics within a balanced relationship between intellect, emotion, and will. Subject number 2 is about moral relativism. According to the jurors, 3 general perspectives exist. The first one is that ethical norms vary between places. Companies must adhere to the moral norms and regulation of the country in which they operate. However, this raises concern because it assumes that there are no universal moral values and norms applicable across all nations and societies. Nevertheless, actions such as stealing, robbing, and cheating are condemned as unethical everywhere. And the second one is a universal moral norm exists. So it is some moral values are universally applicable. So it's meaning that what is considered right in one country should also apply in another. And this perspective assumes that morality concerns the behavior of all humans as human beings, making moral principle valid regardless of location. And the last perspective is naive immoralism. So it's that this view states that no moral norms need to be followed at all. And subject number 3 is about modern ethical theories or cognitivism. Utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is derived from the Latin words, so it's a utilis, its meaning useful, and argues that an action is good if it brings benefit, not just to one or two individual, but the society as a whole. A famous formulation of this principle is, the greatest happiness of the greatest number, meaning that moral action should maximize happiness for the most people. However, utilitarianism has several weaknesses. The first one is that the concept of benefit is complex and difficult to quantify, and also it does not consider the moral value of an action itself, but only its consequence. And the last weakness is it's prioritize the greatest benefit for the majority, and sometimes at the expense of minorities. And number two is a deontology. Deontology is from the Greek word, so it's a dion. It's a dion meaning deity. So argues that moral action should be based on deity rather than the consequence. The key figure of this theory is Immanuel Kant. According to Kantian ethics, an action is good not because of its result, but because it's the right things to do. And next we have right theory. This theory is widely used today to evaluate whether actions are morally right or wrong. It is part of deontological ethics because rights are tied to duties. It's aligned with democratic values and ensure that all individuals receive equal treatment. As Kant stated, every human should be treated as an end in themselves and never merely as a means to an end. And the next we have a virtue ethics. Virtue ethics focus on character traits that enable individuals to act morally, such as wisdom, justice, humility, and diligence. Unlike rule-based ethical theories, virtue ethics emphasize the moral characters of individuals rather than just their action. And next, for the subject number 4, we have a religious ethical theories or non-cognitivism. A major European religious thinker, Thomas Aquinas, argued that God is the ultimate purpose of human life, and true happiness is achieved through devotion to God. Traditional religious ethics emphasize duty and obligation, roots in a love for God and fellow humans. Contemporary religious existentialist movement reject traditional this and opting for a more humanistic and universal ethical approach. Some even advocate for secular interpretation of morality, believing that ethics should be independent of supernatural authority. Alright, so we had a last subject. It's about ethical principle in business. Business is the activity of producing and selling goods and services to meet societal needs. And ethical principle in business ensure fairness, trust, and long-term sustainability. According to Kirov, there have 5 main ethical principles in business. The first one is autonomy. So businesses must act independently and responsibly in making decisions. And the number 2 is honesty. Honesty in contract, product quality, and workplace relationship is crucial. And number 3, don't harm and do good. Businesses should to strive to maximize benefit and minimize the harm. And the number 4 is a justice. So businesses ensure fair compensation and equal opportunities. And the last is a self-respect. Treating others as one wishes to be treated. And Robert G. Solomon further emphasized 2 levels of business virtues. The first one is the individual business virtues, so which is has a fairness, trust, and perseverance. And the second one is the corporate business virtues, so it's a friendliness, loyalty, honor, and accountability. So that's all for my video. Hope you enjoy, and if you have any question, please comment in the comment section. And thank you so much for everything. Santi Om. Bye.